everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk about Black History Month. The month that is a celebration of my people, because I am a black man and everything. And it's about all our accomplishments, all the oppression that we have gone through over like centuries of living in like America and stuff like that. And even till this day, we are still being oppressed. And so I'm here today to talk to you about certain characters or TV shows or episodes that revolve around Black History Month that I personally enjoy. So I'm here today to talk to you about Power Rangers Dino Charge, where sleeping Zords lie. So this is a Shelby focused episode. This is very special because Shelby is the very first black person to play a Pink Ranger. This is something that's never been done before. Pink Rangers have always been either Asian or white. Or actually, what was the pink Operation Overdrive Ranger? Was she Hispanic or Asian? I can't remember. But yeah, so they've never had like a black like girl to play like a Pink Ranger. And this is the very first time. It took over 20 something years just for that to happen. Or about 15 or so. I forgot when this came out. But yeah, it happened in the Nickelodeon era. And Dino Charge is like one pretty good season. Like I remember like a lot of people kept talking about how terrible Samurai and Megaforce was, so I just didn't watch it. And then so I wasn't watching this. I actually came into this doing Super Dino Charge. And so like I didn't know what the first part of the season was about. And so I was looking online to see what the new morphing sequence was like. And I saw something that said like, because somebody has this video that has like every ranger, well every colored ranger morph sequence. And then they had like the purple. I'm like, a purple ranger? That's very rare. Like there's only been one in Power Ranger history. And so I saw Kendall morph, where she only gets to morph one time. And I was just like, oh wow, she's like one of those like hot nerdy type people with glasses. And so that what got me into like watching this show was because of Kindle and stuff. So then I saw the other morphing sequences and stuff. And so, but I will say this. Dino Charge was really good, but Super Dino Charge was kind of, you know what I'm saying? But this show is also special because it's the first time we ever had 10 Power Rangers. The most we ever had was about 8, and that was in no, wait, I'm trying to think. Okay, SPD, they had 9. And so this was special because we had 10 for the first time. And so, like, I think 10, I believe, yeah. And what's interesting, they had 2 different Blue Rangers and 2 different, like, grayish, like, silver type Rangers and stuff. And so, like, it's also special because at first when people started watching, it's just like, wait, hold up. This contradicts Mighty Morphin in a major way with the whole dinosaurs and Zords and the Keeper and all this stuff. And then we found out this is on an alternate universe and everything. So that's kind of cool because it would just made no sense as to how dinosaurs were. Because in the finale, dinosaurs are in the present day, and that never made no sense. So that speculated for fans to think, okay, you know, this was an alternate reality, and it was later proven and stuff. So a Shelby focused episode. Because she is the Pink Ranger, there are lots of episodes dedicated to her. There are episodes like, you know, focusing on her because of her love interest and stuff. So she gets a lot to do. So it wasn't hard to find like a Shelby episode like it was with the other black people who played Power Rangers. And so Shelby, I forget what her profession is. Either she's a college student or she just work. I know she works at that little museum part with the restaurant, the food center's at with the rest of the Rangers. And so like when she is like, you know, they're digging for like I think either more bones. Either more bones. I know they're looking for like Zords and stuff because like, you know, the Keeper, he placed the inner gems within, like, I think like inside like the dinosaurs, and then they got frozen, and then they of course died, and they left there with their bones. And so once a person bonds with an inner gem, I believe they're bonded for like life, I believe, and then also it wakes up the Zord. And so they're looking for the Anglo Zord. And so like they're digging in the same spot they found all the other bones and stuff. And so she's a very smart person, and she deduces that like just because they found the other inner gems in that little pile where the rest of the dinosaurs were, doesn't mean they're gonna find the rest. Dinosaurs, they travel and everything. And so like she thinks it's a really dumb idea to do that. Now, what's really funny is that because it's a hot day, she's just like drinking all of their drinks, which really pisses the guys off. Also, this Power Ranger season is the only one. Normally a Power Ranger season has one or two females, and this one has two females. But like I said, there are 10 guys. Well, no. 8 guys and stuff. And so, like, that's a lot of dudes and only 2 female. They could have gender swapped like somebody else, but they didn't. And so, like, this is also a Power Ranger season that had no Yellow Ranger, but they do have a Gold Ranger. And so, like, she goes back to their little hideout place, which is kind of like this little place underneath the museum. And she's talking to Kendall about like how the guys didn't like her idea, and how she wanted like Kendall to help her like find like a dinosaur. The thing about her and Kendall, Miss Morgan, is that Kendall doesn't really like her that much. Because the thing is, Keeper is the mentor, Kendall is the tech person slash ranger slash almost like their boss. And so she bosses them around, but she is not the leader. And so like Kendall, like when the inner gem bonded with the other dudes, Kendall like grew a bond with them, and she really likes Coda. Like he's the only person allowed to call her Kendall. Everybody else has to call her Miss Morgan. And so her and Tyler, Shelby and Tyler, they were the only two who were like new recruits at that time. And so Kendall just isn't very fond of like Shelby for some reason and stuff. And so, like, she gives her constantly a hard time, which Shelby stands her ground and lets her know that, like, what's your problem with me and all this other stuff, and I have a great idea and blah blah blah. So she's like, all right, fine, I'll listen to it, which was a good thing, because she had a great idea and nobody would listen, and so Kendall, ironically, out of everybody else, decided to listen to her. And so what they're gonna do is like look for the energy signature of like the bone fragments that they have of the ankler Zord. And so like, in areas where it might like eat and sleep and stuff like that. So they create this type of like scanner device, and they create a new is it a dino charger? It's been a while since I've seen this. So a dino charger. And so like they're searching and they're searching. Well, the alien villain people, Sledge, his like girlfriend type person, she decides that, she doesn't want Fury to find the other inner gem. She wants to find them herself. So she gets the blue dude. The villains in this look so silly and ridiculous. Like I could not take them seriously at all. Even like because they're very comedic, except for Fury and Sledge. And so when Shelby and like Miss Kendall, whatever her name is, like Kendall, Miss Morgan and everything, scan for like the Zord, is intercepted by the bad guys, and they get there first. And so the Rangers, they go there, and then they fight off like one of the monsters and stuff. Well, he's able to sting Coda, and so when he stings people with his stinger, they turn evil. And so like once they get it off him, they realize the Ankylozord has been awoken, and he's angry too. So when they get back to their base, they realize that he must have a stinger on him. And not only that, but since he is awake, somebody has bonded with him. So there's an Aqua Ranger out there. Now, the Keeper tells them straight up that, for whatever reason, the Aqua Ranger has decided not to join us. Maybe he has his own personal mission. Maybe he just doesn't want to get involved, whatever. And there is some nice, like, Easter eggs of the Aqua and Silver Ranger in this. because most of the other Rangers don't show up until like what is it, the next season. You know, that's one thing that always pissed me off about the super season is that they have 10 Rangers, but they barely show up. And it's mostly just like the ones that always show up. And that was very annoying and everything. And so, like, you're gonna have 10 Rangers, use them, man. So, anyways, um, Kendall, she's upset because she feels it's her fault because of how like Sledge found the Zord. So she goes by herself to go and find it, which is dumb because she has no powers yet. She doesn't get hers until towards the end of the season. And so Shelby, being the Shelby that she is, she sneaks away and everything. And so she sneaks away in the car, and that's what she first did when they first all met. And how she found the Triceratops. Because Triceratops is her favorite dinosaur of all time. And so, like, her and Kendall get ambushed by some foot soldiers and a monster. And Kendall ends up fighting the like foot soldiers on her own with a shovel, which should have told people, okay, there's something special about her because she's able to hold her own and do flips and fight, which she's just like the geeky, nerdy person, so she shouldn't be able to do all that stuff. So anyway, Shelby falls down in the hole and she morphs and she sees the ankle of Zord. And so off screen, she takes the stinger off. I hate the way the Zords look in this. The ones that move around, the CGI is terrible, and this is when they started looking like Lego figures and toys. I hate that crap. So anyways, the other Rangers, they show up to save like Kendall and everything, and then the ankle of Zord shows up, and then so does Shelby, and so like they form the Zords. Now this is one thing that always confused me. The Zord Formation. It could pretty much be any formation they wanted to and combine whatever Zord they want. Sometimes they can just combine 3. Sometimes they can combine 2. Sometimes they combine all of them. And then Kendall, her Zord, you know, it has its own Megazord form. So that's something that always confused me. And you know they would have made a lot of toys off that. And so like Shelby's like, you know, taking like the lead in the cockpit and using the Ankylozord, and they defeat the monster. And so after that, they're all eating and hanging out, and Kendall has a reward for Shelby. The museum wanted to give her like a token of their appreciation for finding like the whatchamacallem. She thinks it's a Triceratops bone. It's not. It's poop. Dinosaur poop that's been fossilized. She thinks it's gross. She drops it, and then Kendall is very annoyed by that. And so, like, yeah, this was a pretty good Shelby focused episode. It showed her determination. It showed her willingness to define the odds. She wasn't gonna let nobody like hold her down, whether it was male or female or her boss. Because when she scalded like Kendall, she told her, you know, all you have me do is wait tables and like sweep the floor and everything, and she can do a whole lot more than that. And she proved herself and stuff. And that's always great that young kids, especially young black kids, must always prove themselves against the odds, because people are always going to hold them down and stuff and assume they can't do much. And so the best way to prove that is to prove them wrong, never prove them right. Happy Black History Month, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.